For the next 15 minutes, you get to watch me do the same thing over and over and over again. So here I have my stair treads. There's 10 of them, and I'm using my belt sander with an 80 grit belt to sand the 3 visible edges. So that's the toe leading edge, the side that'll be visible sticking out of the stringer, and then the back. The other side's that small little part that's sticking out at the bottom right now. That won't be visible. That'll be inside the I-beam of the stringer, and then the other side will be completely against the wall. So I'm not going to take the time to bother sanding those flush. But when I did this fit up, there was a lot of just minor errors. I reclaimed a lot of the wood from my previous staircase, which was also red oak. That's what these treads are made from, is red oak. So here I'm just evening up the edges, getting them flat between the 3 pieces, the side, the top, the bottom. And I'm taking off any finish that's left, any scratches, defects, things like that. Just getting it nice and even and ready for finish. I was going to sand that one small side there, but I got to looking at it, and not only would my sander not fit, but it wasn't really going to be visible anyway, so I just decided not to mess with it. That's one down. I wasn't kidding when I said it's 15 minutes of me doing the same thing over and over again, but there's just a few points I make along the way. This really wore my shoulders out and my lower back. It was a lot fighting that belt sander. It's got a lot of power to it. Now, I'm not sanding the top and bottom just yet because I'm not going to use an 80 grit on those. It's a lot of work to switch back and forth between belts. So I just did the 3 sides with the 80 grit, and those are actually, because they're mostly end grain, are actually pretty much the final finish. And I will need to go back over them with a finer grit, but I'll hit the top lightly with like a 220, and basically sand down all of that wood filler from the finish nails that I used. The bottom, I used pocket holes and screws to affix the edges. There's number 2 done. And then I used once I got all the edges on, I put what is actually the bottom, I brad nailed it, or finish nailed it on. Then I used actually a denailer, which is used for like reclaimed wood. It's pneumatic. You put a nail up into the edge of the tool, and when you pull the trigger, it shoots the nail out backwards. So I didn't have a nail set, and so I just used it to basically be my nail set. Number 3 down. Kind of learned my lessons. Some of these were a lot better fit up than others. And when I was assembling them, I thought, well, I'll just put the slop to the edge and kind of make it to one side, and that ended up kind of biting me. I should have taken the edges and or the interior pieces there, those 2-inch pieces. I should have taken them and brought them out flush with the outer edge no matter what, and then just filled any gaps caused by minor errors in my cuts. Also, the reclaimed wood did have some various thicknesses, so it was not easy to get perfect cuts. Here's a little before look at what the edge looks like before I sand it down. Here's after. Number 4. Again, there was a before look there, and me cleaning off the lens from all the dust. Always remember to wear your PPE. Got my ear protection, glasses, and respirator on. I've got the wrong cartridges on the respirator for this exact application, but they do have a dust filter on them. Those are more for chemicals, but they work. That's number 5, the after. As you can tell by all the dust flying around, that vacuum attachment, I think it's clogged internally. It's never really worked well at all. I bought this sander off of Facebook Marketplace several years ago. There, my belt just broke and got a hole in it. New belt, 80 grit. So I fought with the vacuum for a little while, and I eventually just ended up taking it off. It really wasn't doing me much good. That's where my vacuum went haywire. I learned the hard way that you have to tape up the vacuum port on this or it'll blow the dust straight into your face. So luckily I learned that previous to this. That's number 6. These edges were just as uneven as the top, but due to the fact that the end grain of the board was typically the part protruding, it sanded a lot faster than the edge that I'm sanding now, just due to the fact that it's end grain. Like I said, I'll still have to sand the top and bottom flats, but I'm going to use a much finer grit for that, probably 220. After I get all that sanding done, I'll take my router and just with a round over bit, and I'll round all of the edges that'll be visible. And I'll probably actually round just the whole top. It doesn't take long, and just make it look nice. Number 8, I'm going to use a gun stock finish. There's the before on number 9, and that red that you saw there, that reddish stain, is going to be similar to the final color that the entire tread will be. At this point, my shoulders are screaming. Number 9 done. Now this 10th one here is actually the first one that I built, and you can see I already routed the corners there, so that'll give you an idea what the final corner will look like. But I learned after doing that it was pretty critical that those edges are nice and flush, because if they're not, everywhere where you have a groove or a meetup of two boards, you get a defect in the round over. A little bearing on that bit follows the edge, and if it hits one of those defects, it'll mess up the edge. So I wanted that to look nice and smooth and have a nice straight line for the eyes. So I decided I needed to sand all the edges flush. Almost done with number 10 here. And right here at the end, I started to get a little worn out. And as I take this sander down here, you'll see me hit the little board that I'm working off of there and broke the belt. But luckily, it was right as I was done, so it wasn't too big a deal. Boom goes the dynamite. Belt exploded. But I'm done. Thanks for watching.